Okay, can you see? Is it recording? I can't really.
Yes, it's recording now.
Okay. So with Vital Source Explore is modernize the way we package and deliver the content. So it actually helps meet the needs of the institutions for the flexible provision of materials to your students. Okay. Okay. One of the key user experience of Explore is the cutting edge search. Okay. Explore search algorithm allows user to pull relevant hits even with a partial word or typo error. So this allows user, even if you enter a typo error, so it will still be able to pull out all the relevant hits. Later we'll show it during the demo. And Vital Source has this high-speed search results in content, in the title and content for across the titles in your collection, so that users can find the contents that is most valuable to them instantly. Okay. And one of the very important in terms of the Explore search, it learns and improves over time. So the more a user searches and uses the content, the better the results. Okay. This will be the personalized recommendation. So it identifies the content based on the user behavior to enrich the learner experience. So based on here, you can see the recommended for you is a top title for user based on the user browsing history. Okay, and see what's trending is the popular learning resources available within the given this particular collection. Okay, and we have these topics for you. This is content personalized to what the user is reading. So if you are a economics or business students, so most of titles will be mainly all the business title, marketing, management titles, or if you are engineering student, then most of your topics based on your learning behavior, you pull those that you have been reading and also recommended some of the titles for you. Okay, and under the recently added, these are for new titles that the library has subscribed to, so that it can keep learners up to date what are the latest releases that the library has subscribed to. Okay, so next will be the subscription that the library has acquired. It includes both in terms of the concurrency and the borrow limit. So what does the title concurrency limit? It is actually, it controls the number of times an individual title can be accessed by all users of a subscription at the same time. So it means that at any time, 3 users can access the same title at any time. So it's very much like if you go to a physical library, okay, the library has purchased 3 books. So at any one time, the 3 users can borrow the book. So for this particular one is that at any one time, 3 users can check out this particular book. Okay, let me show this. So from here, it shows that the loan period is 3 days. Okay, and the Explore provides an intuitive interface that allows user to clearly keep track of the concurrency limit. Okay, and even also the borrow limits, which I'll explain later. So what happens when the concurrency limit has reached? So it will actually shows that all copies are currently in use. So the users will have to check back later. Okay, this will be in terms of the user borrow limit. It's very much like the physical library policy. It limits how many titles a user can borrow. So for this particular, the UMPLibrary policy is the loan credit is 3. Okay, so a user can borrow up to 3 books at any one time. Okay, so you can access the book for 3 days. Okay, once you have used the book, you have borrowed more than 3 books, it will say that your borrow limit has reached. Okay, and then you might need to return the book. So for digital library, unlike a physical library where the user have to physically go to return a book, the system actually automatically return the book once the loan period has reached after 3 days. Okay, so user need not return the book. But let's say if this user have reached the loan credit of 3 books, and if he want to, he can actually go and manually return the book in order for him to borrow another book. So you can see from here, return another item to borrow this one. Okay, so this is how it works in terms of the Vital Source Explorer. In terms of the title concurrency, this is the your library in terms of your limits that you have for UMP library subscription. Okay, you have for total 3 concurrency limit for the 500 titles, and each user can borrow up to 3 books, and for each book they can have access up to 3 days. Okay, at any time they can always return the book. If not, they can automatically, the system will return the book itself. Okay, any questions regarding the features of Vital Source Explorer before I go into the live demo? Okay, if not, let me go to the live demo. Okay, so right now, for this particular one, we will learn how to access Cengage e-textbook collection delivered on Vital Source Explorer. So you will need to log into your UMP e-resource system. Okay, so from here, you will probably have to log in with your account. And from here, go to ebook. Okay, I will go straight to under here. I'm sure y'all are more familiar than me. Click on the ebook link on the left side menu. Okay, and scroll down to Cengage Vital Source Explorer. Okay, you can actually click on the download the student quick start guide to help you get started with Vital Source Explorer. And this is a quick glance of this quick start guide. It will actually provide you the information how you can create an account and how you can access. I will go into details into how you can actually access this Explorer. Okay, and also from here you can also click on the, before we click on the Vital Source Explorer link to explore the e-textbook that your library has subscribed, you can also click on the ebook list to view all the titles that the library has subscribed. So this is the list of titles, and if you scroll to the right, you can actually filter down to the subject that you are teaching. Okay, so these are the titles, 500 titles, and all the information the library have actually put it into this Excel. So you can actually come here to download it and also download the user guide. Okay, so let me close all this before, and I'll go straight to here. Once you go here, you can click on the Vital Source Explorer, and it will bring you to this particular page. You will be prompted to enter your email address. So let me enter my email address. Okay, and click continue. So once you actually enter your email address, you can see from here, it will prompt you to enter your password if you have an existing account. Let's say if you don't have an existing account, so what will happen if, let's say, let me create enter a account that I don't have, a Vital Source account. Let me try with this email address, and I click continue. It will prompt me to create an account. So follow the on-screen information to create an account if you do not have an existing Vital Source account. So once you create an account, you will be prompted, send an email from Vital Source to verify your bookshelf account. So you need to create and verify your email. And once you have actually confirmed your email, you will be able to come back to this screen to log into your account. Okay, so another thing I want to show you, you might see that this is continue without an account. Okay, so if you do not have a Vital Source account and if you do not wish to create a Vital Source account, you can do that. But please note that if you create without an account, okay, it's like very much like you go to a physical library. You're just browsing the book. You just want to check out some book without creating an account. So you can do that. But without creating an account, Vital Source when you create an account, any highlights and notes that you have taken, it actually is stored in the cloud. So even if I did not purchase this particular book, okay, but once I log in with my account, I do any highlight or note taking, the next time I go back to this Explore to borrow this book using the same account, any highlights and notes that I've taken will be still stored in my account. So unlike a physical book, a library book, I can't do highlight and take notes. That would be vandalism, okay? Which I can't. But with this physical, this digital ebook, you can. So as long as the user log in with an account, they will have access to their notes and ebooks. Okay, so I'll show you to how it works. Let me log in into my account. It welcomes me, so I'll just sign into my account. And also, if you do not create a account after you have borrowed the book, you will not be able to read the book offline. Okay, so let's go through the Explore interface. The very first thing in terms of the user experience is the search function. Okay, let me search a particular book. Econ titles, but I have a typo error, so I'm missing an O after the N. Okay, so the system is smart enough to pull out all the relevant informations. Okay, to borrow a book, you can click on the borrow button or this icon button to view the details of this book. It will show you that there are 2 copies left, okay, and the loan period is 3 days. So you can come here to click on borrow. Okay, and I can click on borrow. Okay, but instead of going to proceed to borrow, let me go back to the Explore main interface. You can see from here, this is the Explore main interface. Okay, you can see here in terms of the personalized recommendation, this is recommended for you. Okay, and you can see what's trending, the titles and topics for you based on your reading behavior and what is trending. Okay, those recently added. Okay, this is actually a bookshelf to teach you the tutorial of how to use the VitalSource bookshelf. Okay, so you can see from here, maybe I'll borrow another book. Click here, and it shows me I can borrow another book. Here is 3 of 3 copies. Okay, and I can click here to view the number of books that I borrowed. So right now I borrowed 3 books. So maybe let me borrow another book again. So I'll borrow this book. Okay. So you can see that I borrowed 3 books. The borrowing limit has reached. So it actually tells me that it's unavailable. I have reached the borrowing limit. So I will need to return one book, at least one book, in order for me to continue to borrow a book. So once I return this book, I will be able to borrow again. Okay, and I can also go to the library to check through all the books that I have borrowed. Okay, so this is very much the VitalSource interface. Explore interface is very simple and interactive. So this is where you can actually the students and yourself can come in to borrow the books. So to check out the books. Any questions from here? Before we go on to the features of the VitalSource e-textbook.
Hello, Joanne.
Yes.
Hello. My name is Noor.
Mm.
Once we borrow the book, how many times that we are allowed to, to renewal?
Oh, okay. There's no renewal for this book. So once you have reached the limit of the 3 books, and after 3 days, it will automatically return to the system. So let's say if there's no other people who borrow the book again, then if you go back to the library system, you can borrow again. So at any one time, it's 3 users can borrow this book, but there's no renewal system.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Hi, morning, Miss
Yes.
Joanne.
Yes.
Yeah, my name is Huda.
Mm.
I would like to know whether we can read a few, preface of the book before we borrow. Are we allowed to do that? We
Yes,
click.
if you can see, you will not be able to read the preface of a book, but you can have a description of the book. So let's say if I go to this particular title, let me go to this particular, I click on the borrow button. So it will give me a description of this book, but you will not be able to read the preface. So what you can do is you just borrow it, and if you do not, after reading it, so to allow, because of the limited number of concurrency, so we encourage the users that if you don't need the access for 3 days, always return the book, even though the system automatically return the book for you. But if you could, and you think that to allow more users to have access to a title, if you could just manually just click on the borrow items and click on the return is to return the book.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. If no questions, let me probably open this principle of economics. Okay. We'll go through the features of the VitaSource e-textbook. So for the Explore, just now when I went through, it's a very simple way. Check out a book and check-in means to return. Okay, check out is to borrow a book. Okay, so this is how the e-textbook looks like. Okay, there are multiple ways for you to move between pages, including linked table of content. So you can actually go by the table of content, or you can do a certain search to go through a particular page. Or if you want to, if you know of a particular page number you are reading, you can actually go and to the particular page. Okay, so click on the right button to go to move to the next page, and the left button to go to previous page. Okay, for the e-textbook, you can highlight and take notes with your choice of color. Okay, let's say if I'll go into the next page and I do a highlight and note taking. Okay, so I can do with the choice of color. So you can see the differences in this highlights. Some have the pupil icon inside. There are the icon inside this highlighters. You can actually create it. So what do you mean? What's the difference between one is a private? These are private. So any highlights and notes that I've taken under this is actually available to myself only. But if I've actually shared with my followers, very much like Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, anyone who follow me will have access to the highlights and notes. So this is important as an instructor, professor, that you might want to, like, if there are certain things that you want to emphasize to your students, you can actually share your highlights with them. Okay, so let's say if I were to create a highlight over here, okay, and I can also add any notes that I want. Okay, from here, I can come here to add note, to share, to say that it's important. Okay, so you can actually come here to, you will set a date here. You can highlight and take notes with your choice of color. Okay, what you can do is go to this reader preferences and select highlighters. Okay, so you can come here, you can see that I've actually created a few highlights. Okay, what I need to do is I want to add a new highlight for maybe tutorial or exam. I select a color and I will share it as a public. So you can see here, once I click public, any followers who are following me will have access to the to my highlights and notes. So here, let me create a notes. I add this. Okay. And after I do any highlights, I can actually come here to copy the share link and share it to my students, or even for within students peer-to-peer. They can actually, if they have any tutorials or projects, discussions, they can actually add notes, share with each other, and then copy this share link, send emails to your class to ask them to follow you. So any highlights and notes that we have shared with them, they will have access to you. And for the students, if they want to follow, it's the same thing. They come here to enter the email, or based on the email, the enter email is your vital source email that you have created, okay? Or they'll just click on your link that you have shared and click on it, it will automatically be following you, okay? Any questions regarding the highlighting and note-taking? So these are the basic functions of the e-textbook. Okay, and you can see from here within the workbook, okay, I can actually access to the workbook, all the highlights and notes I've taken. You can see from here under this particular account, all previous highlights that I've taken previously are still available to me. Okay, it will not be deleted as long as I have access to the same account. You can see from here, and you can see that these are all the private, the personal highlights that I have taken. Anything shared with me will be shown with the initial. That means JT has shared with me these highlights that she has termed as important. So this is where you can see that this is the highlights and notes that have been shared by JT. Okay, so all this you can see, and the users from here, they can export these highlights and notes. So it's important before the students have a test or exam, they would like to quickly review all the notes and highlights they've taken. They can quickly come here to export it to PDF to review all this before their test. Okay, and you can also, from here, let me close this, go back to here. You can also do any bookmark from here. So let's say if I finish, probably I have access to the book. After reading 5-10 pages, I need to go off for classes. I can always bookmark it. So the next time I come back, I can quickly go back to the particular page. Okay. And you can see from here any notes and highlights while reading, during revision, I can quickly review the notes that I've taken in line. Okay. So I need not go back to the workbook. I can quickly review it next to it while revision during reading. Okay. I can close it. Anytime to open it, I just click on it. Okay. And there's another function is to have the textbook read aloud to you, listen to the ebook, and learn while performing other tasks.
Chapter 2, Thinking Like an Economist. Many historical episodes.
Okay. And with this, you can also print. It's a limit of 2-page limit per print. Okay. Next, as an instructor, maybe you have this particular page that is probably this particular page that you think is important, okay, and you want to share it with your students, okay, you can actually send this link click on the menu table of content, and over here, go to this 3 dot, the more book options, and you can actually copy the page URL. So let's say once I copy it, and you can actually send it to the users. And when this user have access to this ebook, it will be applicable only when the user with a license will be able to access to the content. So let's say if the users have access to this book, they will be able, when you send this link to a specific, you copy a URL with a specific location, this is where they will access the particular page. Okay, you can do that if you have maybe certain page that you want to share with your students. Okay, so the students will come straight to this particular page. Okay, let me close this. And also you can also, if the students need to do citation, this is where they can come here to create the MLA citation. Okay. Any questions regarding the features of the e-textbook? Let me see. Cover most of the thing. Okay. So let me show you an example what happens when if I do not have access to this ebook, right? Okay, let me go back to this. And I'll close this. I'll return this book. So I'll copy another the content that I've opened. It will prompt me to say that I do not have access to this ebook. It should do that unless it's not reading. So if anytime your students tell you that they have not access, so they have to activate this particular book. It's loading for a while. Okay, maybe it has not. I still have access to this book. Try again. It should show me that I have not access. Probably it take a while for the system to return the book. Okay. Yeah, it seems that I still have access to this book. I might show it to you later on. Okay. So once you have actually finished reading the book, you will be able to return back to the library. Okay, on the just now I forgot to show you. Let's say if I complete reading, you will have to actually click on the left arrow on the top left to go back to the explore. I'm not so sure. Do you see from here? This is the navigation to return back to when you are reading the ebook. Click on this left arrow to go back to the explore to continue browsing, borrow the ebooks. Okay, so from here, you can actually go to, oh, sorry. Okay. Click on the download app to read the ebook offline. Okay, or you can go to this particular bettersource.com/downloads to download the bookshelf. So users can have access to the bookshelf to read the ebook offline. Okay, so from here you can see these are the ebooks that have actually let me go to this particular bookshelf that I have. So it will launch the library. It will say that my ebook has updated. So the books that I've actually borrowed it will be synced to my account. So let's say right now, I have the book. I can actually click here. You can see from here, this book has been downloaded. I can continue to read it. So let's say if it's a new book, probably let me go in to borrow a new book that I have not borrowed before. Let me try. This, I'll borrow this. And when I go back to this, to refresh the account, the ebook that I borrowed will be here. You can see there's no tick mark over here. What I can do is I can click on this to download the ebook. Okay, once I download this to my device, I will be able to access it offline. But of course, now I can't actually go offline. Okay, so but once you go offline, you can actually read the book offline without any internet access. And any highlights and notes that you have taken offline will be synced back once you log in again online. So anything that you have taken offline with your account, the next time you log in online, it will sync back. So any ebooks highlights they have taken, it will sync back to your account. So let's say if I go back to my, I might not have done something over here. Let me try to check on this book again. Okay, so I've actually not written this book. Okay, so any highlights and notes that I've taken from here, you can see under my account. Just now, any highlights or notes that I've taken earlier, probably in this particular part, I will scroll down later. It has been synced to my account. Page. Okay, I did this. Okay, so just now I've actually did some highlights and notes. It's automatically synced to my account already. Okay, so this is how the users can use the ebook offline with the VitaSource bookshelf, and it is available for most of the devices: iOS, mobile devices, Android devices, PC, and Mac. Okay, these are the common devices that are available. Okay. Any questions regarding this? If no questions, then another thing I would like to show is that probably to encourage usage of books, you can actually have the launch into specific ebook every month, the library or even the department by department. You can actually build awareness by actually recommending top titles to your class in different disciplines every month, or you can go by department basis or the library. So you can actually based on what's trending. Okay, either way, you can use what's trending over here, or based on the list of titles that you have, you can actually provide a list of all the reference titles. So a few things that we can do is, okay, let me go back to this site, is that you can actually go into, let's say, create a slides for your students, and then to encourage them to go to a particular book, then you can actually come here to provide the link to them, or email to your students, or whichever ways that you communicate to your students. From there, they can actually come here to borrow the book. So let's say if I had to come in back to this particular site, Students who click on it, they will have access to ebook. They will be able to see this particular book. Okay, let me try to create one. This is not the link. I should be clicking on this. Oh, sorry. I don't know why I didn't link the book. Okay, let's see if I try clicking this. Forgot to link it. Okay. This is see. Okay. So let's say if I provide this link, a list of titles, maybe top 10 titles or top 5 titles to the students, you can see from here, it actually shows the ebook that you're actually recommending to the students. And the students see that, okay, this is the ebook. They will need to log into their account. If they have access to the ebook, they will be able to access it immediately. Let me try to return this book. Okay. So I'll log into my account again. Click continue. And you will bring me to Explore. And the students from here can come here to borrow the book. It seems to recognize that I still have this ebook, or okay, it asked me to activate. You have to borrow another ebook in order to borrow one. Okay, so it actually recommends that I have actually have reached my account, so I need to return another book. If not, the students will actually have access to this ebook. Somehow it's actually still recognized as it's being borrowed. Okay, so this is where how you can provide this link to your students. But there are two different ways if you are within the campus. So this is how you actually provide the links to students. But let's say if the students are mostly off campus, then they will have to access via the Easy Proxy, okay, through the library portal. Is it too complicated? Any questions regarding this? If no further questions, then I'll hand over to Pauline to continue with this session. So we would like you to kickstart and access everything the Cengage Vital Source Explore Library Collection. So empower your students to reach their potential by exploring the ebooks in their library collection.
Thank you, Joanne. Okay. Yeah, I believe that Joanne have give you a very clear guide how to use it and how to log in. But in the same time, we will also like to simplify it for students because we might not able to let the students go through the section like 45 minutes or even 1 hour, but we can share with them the guide, the simple guide how to log in, and then what are the rules for the to access to the Cengage e-textbook library. So we summarize it into the 3 simple steps. Okay, so you can see, can you see my poster now? Yes. Okay. So, okay, this poster will be shared to all of you after these sections. So it also can be printed out and also placed in the library billboard. If the student coming back to the campus, they'll be able to see this simple step, how to log in into our platform. Okay, so first we come with a simple website link here, and also the QR code. It will be able to guide the student how to log into the platform. Second, the rules is about student able to borrow about 500 e-textbook, borrow up to 3 textbook in one time, and also for 3 days. The third one, definitely they can either choose it to read it online or offline, in campus or off campus. So it's very simple step, and all with the QR code and the guide. They're able to help them. This QR code actually in the bottom here is actually help them to download the bookshelf that Miss Joanne have shown you all like just now. And if the student really found that they still facing some difficulties, so they can go to the bottom here, the QR code, unsure how to log in, then they follow the step here that Miss Joanne have shown you just now, the start strong, how to, they will guide you from the very beginning, how to log in or register until the step that how they're able to get all the ebooks. Okay, so this poster will be sharing to all of the lecturers that who are present in this meeting. So you also can spread it to all your colleagues who are interested to use it very frequently. So just recap what we are trying to do today is actually we would like to build the awareness and encourage the student to read the ebooks. Okay, to build the awareness, then we will encourage that librarian or even the lecturer can take the initiative to select the top 10 titles every month or every 2 months by department or by faculty. So you can submit it to your librarians and then you can share it. The second way we're doing it is a specific ebook that Ms. Joanne has shared in the very last part. You can copy the link and then share in your class. So most of the time what we're going to share is the e-textbook, the reference book that you are teaching in that semester. Maybe you have one main textbook, but you also would like the student to refer similar e-reference, then you can share the link directly to your class so that they can immediately go into that particular books that they know that this will be helpful for them. Okay, so I can see there are some in the chat room. Okay, let's see. Okay, Ms. Joanne, if the book is used as the for the teacher course, is it possible to log a copy for? Okay, Ms. Joanne, can you help to answer?
Okay, so for this, if the book has been used, this is actually the library copies. So it is actually for the instructors, it will be provided through polling. So but it's not through the VitalSource Explore platform. So the library subscription is separate from the instructor copy.
Okay, I hope that this answers your questions. Abdullah Aziz Jafar. Okay, thank you. Okay, do you all have any other questions? Last call for the last questions.
Hello, Miss. My name is Noor. I just want to ask you if you have selected one reference book, okay, to be as our main reference in our class, is it possible for us to get any teaching materials from the textbook that we have selected? For instance, the PowerPoint slides and then the test bank and whatsoever which is related to the teaching materials.
Okay, this one actually, because this platform is mainly for the library collections. So if you are having your own text that you have been selected from Cengage as your textbook, then you are required to adopt the textbook for your class. And then only you will entitled to get the instructor resources. Yeah, feel free to contact me for more informations. I will leave my contact in the chat box so that you can talk to me in further for the class adoptions. Okay, this is my email address. And I will also provide you my phone numbers so you can talk to me for the adoptions after that. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay, I think we can close the section. It take about 50 minutes for this section. And thank you again, Puan No Azura and Puan Fida for arranging this. I will blast out the poster to all of you after this. And then if you have any question, feel free to come back to us. And then if you need any guide, then we will try to send you the step-by-step guide again. So yeah, thank you very much for all your attendance.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.